Hello and welcome. What's up, everybody? Thank you for clicking on the video. Today, in this one, we're gonna be talking about my top 5 favorite baits for fall time. But I got some cool stuff here on the table that I want to show you. A couple packages I want to unbox on camera first. It's gonna be a nice, cool, fun video from right here in the garage. Thank you all for tuning in. So first up, I got some baits that I want to share with you guys. I had a Trace restock recently hit, and I placed an order for some colors that I didn't already have, so I thought I would show them to you guys. First up, really quick, I got a floating and a slow sinking bone, the bone pearl. Everybody knows that color. I think that was the most popular color. I'm sure you all have seen it. We've shown it plenty of times here on the channel, so let's go ahead and just skip over that one. This one right here, though, is one we haven't seen here before. This is the Live Shiner, one I had to make sure that I got in the lineup, so as soon as I saw it back in stock, 10 out of 10, had to scoop. This is one of their best colors. Beautiful golden shiner color. You got those amber orange accents on the tail and the side fins, gold gill plates, light gold sides, awesome royal blue chrome back, shad belly, extremely sharp black nickel hooks, mustad triple grips, high quality split rings, ready to go straight out of the package. That's the Live Shiner, the new 6-inch jointed swim bait, multi-jointed swim bait from 6 Sense Fishing. This is probably my favorite bait drop of all of 2021. Caught some of the best fish of my year on this bait right here. A lot of really good ones, man. A lot of really good ones. The bone is my go-to. I also have a custom painted one that I throw a lot. This Live Shiner right here, that's a killer. I also got another one of my favorite colors. This is the 4K shad. Slow sink is probably my preference. This is the 4K shad. Slow sink right here. She's got that bright white, gold, and silver back. Next up, I picked this one up in the draw and in the trace. That Cajun gill, just a beautiful brown sunfish imitator. Yeah, so I got a few more traces there. Wanted to show those to you guys really quick. It's already hot out here in the garage. Excuse me, I'm gonna kick a fan on really quick. There we go. Hopefully that background noise doesn't bother you guys too much. Let's try to cool it off a little bit out here in the garage, but let's keep this rocking and rolling. Got some new traces there. That's cool. Got one more bait that I want to show you that arrived in the mail. I couldn't wait to open it. I went ahead and cracked open the package, so sorry for getting a little bit of ahead of myself on this one without you guys, but I got one of the bull rats from Bull Shad Swimbaits. This is the 5-inch brown. It's the Mike Buka rat right there. I don't have a lot of rats. I got the Spro rats. And I've been looking at some others for a while, trying to get my hands on some different bigger rat swim baits. Decided to pull the trigger on the Bull Shad rat, the bull rat. Shout outs to Mike Buka. I'm really looking forward to throwing this rat around. I've seen people catch some monsters on this bait. Got that soft plastic trick worm for a tail. Nice, dude. Nice. Sick looking little rat swim bait right there, man. Shout outs to the man, the myth, the legend, Mike Buka. Let's keep rolling. Got a couple more packages here I want to open, show you guys something really cool. And then we'll talk about my top 5 baits for the fall time. This is a special package. I'm gonna give you guys a hint right now. There's your hint. I'm really excited for this one. I'm gonna give you guys a heads up. This in here, not necessarily fishing related, but it's still really cool and you're still gonna like it. So I'm gonna show it to you guys anyway. But what is this? Open up the box. We got a little note there. Thanks, broski. Keep crushing it. If you guys haven't figured it out by now, this is a package from my brother from another, my knife maker friend at Bergblades on Instagram. Looks like he's included some antibacterial hand sanitizer with this order. Super excited about this, guys. So my friend here, Bergblades, knife maker, he's the one that makes the bottle butcher that you guys see here on the channel when we do these unboxings. A lot of times you see me using this cool little piece of EDC. This is the bottle butcher from Bergblades. And I've been wanting to buy one of his knives, one of his larger knives, one of his folders for a while now. And I finally pulled the trigger, and I can't wait to open this box up and see what we got inside. A new Bergblade. Let's check it out. I'm gonna let you guys see it first, man. Here it is. You ready? Oh man. Oh man. Oh, dude, you ready for it? Check that out. My new Bergblades Mini Slim. Black handle with the satin blade. I've wanted one of these for a long time. All right, now I'm gonna take a closer look at it myself here. Awesome. I mean, dude, this dude's knives are second to none. The attention to detail and the quality on this cutlery is unmatched. The design and the workmanship, insane, out of this world. This is such a sturdy feeling knife. Just beautiful. Amazing work, brother. If you're watching, I appreciate it. I'm happy to support. You guys check out at Bergblades if you're interested in seeing some of the work that my buddy does. He makes some really amazing blades. Pretty cool. The Mini Slim, awesome. Sweet little knife. Had to do an unboxing here on the channel for it. Shout outs to Bergblades. Thank you for the stickers and the hand sanitizer and the amazing work on the knife. Happy to support your awesome company. Keep killing it, brother. Thanks for riding with me. Stoked to know you, dude. You're extremely talented and I love your work, and I'm stoked to have that knife. So much love. Shout outs to Bergblades, and you guys go check him out. It's not a sponsor. He didn't give me that knife for free or anything. I paid full price for that knife. Dude just does amazing work. I believe in what he does, and I believe in supporting good people. Dude's a firefighter, so go check out Bergblades, man. A real American hero. So go show him some support, but let's go ahead and keep it moving. I got another box here. This one is from a little tackle shop that you guys have seen me unbox some baits from recently. This one's got a little backstory. So if you guys remember recently, I did a little Chad Shad unboxing, and I unboxed a bait, and it was called Moonlight Shad. A Moonlight Shad Chad Shad. It was really awesome, like aqua blue, purple, white, really unique color of a bait. Well, something you guys haven't seen is that recently I went out and I ended up losing that bait. You will see that footage eventually. I was recording. There's a video coming. You guys will see exactly how it all went down, but long story short, I ended up losing some Chad Shads. I was a little bit heartbroken over it, especially after losing that Moonlight, and of course they were all sold out. You can't get replacements. It's not something that you could just go and reorder. But the maker of the Chad Shad, KGB Swimbaits, does have another bait. Same bait, just a little bit bigger, a 9-inch version of the Chad Shad called the KGB Legend. And I found out that there were some Moonlight Shad KGB Legends available, so I went ahead and pulled the trigger on one. Let's go ahead and take a look now. That's what's in this box. Spoiler alert, it's another KGB. This is the big one. This is the big Shad. The big Shad, not the Chad Shad. This is the Legend, the 9-inch version, and it's in that awesome Moonlight Shad color. You guys will see what I'm talking about here in just a second when I bust this bad boy out of this wrapper. Such an awesome color. Shout outs to my homie Peyton on the paint. Here we go, my first KGB Legend. Boom. Look at that thing. You guys see what I'm talking about on that color. You got that light aqua blue with the perp and the white, and it's just amazing. And the action on the Chad Shad's also amazing. So I wanted to try my hands at the Legend. Like I said, this is the 9-inch glide bait version from KGB. The Chad Shad is 7 inches. I'll go ahead and show you the one Chad Shad. That's right, I said one Chad Shad. I only have one left. This is a Chad Shad, the 7-inch version. And there is the Legend, the 9-inch version. Now, this right here is the school bus Chad Shad. This is the only Chad Shad that I have left. That's right, I've lost 3 of those suckers. You guys are gonna see how and why in some upcoming videos that I'm currently working on finishing up. I've had some absolutely heartbreaking break-offs here recently, and yeah, I'm gonna be sharing that with you guys soon, so stay tuned. Videos coming on that. But after I lost that Moonlight, and I was beginning to come to terms with the fact that I wasn't even gonna be able to find a replacement, and then I saw that they had the Legend available in that color, I couldn't resist. So now I have a 9-inch KGB Legend to go along with my one school bus Chad Shad back there that's left. And yeah, stoked on it. Can't wait to fish it. You guys stay tuned. Yeah, I think that's it as far as the unboxings and the baits go. We got the new Bergblades Mini Slim. We got some new traces. We got the Buka Rat. And we got the 9-inch Legend. But let's go ahead and get off into the main portion of this video. The reason you all clicked on it, my top 5 baits for fall time. I may have done this video before, and I'm sure my baits probably changed since the last time I did this video. But right now, I've got 5 baits I picked out. It's the 5 baits that I'm currently fishing right now to smack these jokers, okay? Been doing really good lately. I want to give you guys a heads up. The fish are eating, and we've been out there on the water every single day, and it has been lightning. So if you guys are interested in seeing a good fall bite, make sure you stick around, subscribe to the channel. I've got some really awesome on the water content coming your way really soon, and you guys are going to see some of these baits that I'm about to talk about in action firsthand. But let me just go ahead and break down the list for you. Right now, my top 5 baits for the fall time. The fall time, it's not even really fall time. It's kind of fall time, but it's not fall time. What do I mean by that? The fall transition. The days are getting shorter, the nights are getting cooler. It's dipping, starting to dip below 60 degrees at night here in Texas, and it's getting dark a little earlier. Now, it's still getting hot during the day. It still feels like summer in the middle of the day, but at night, it's a little bit cooler, and that's all it takes to push these fish up shallow and get them to start corralling bait and feeding the way I like them to feed. It's where I can fish for them the way I like to fish for them. It's no secret here on the channel. If you guys have been watching, you know I'm a power fisherman. I like beating the banks, running and gunning. I have the live scope, and I love to use that tool. But, you know, power fishing and just going up and down the bank and running and gunning is the way I've always done things, the way I do things the most. And when fall time gets here, the water starts cooling down just by a few degrees. Those bass start corralling bait, and it just pops off out of nowhere. The bite just cracks off. It goes from being like a suspended fish summertime bite to full-blown shallow water annihilation, and that's what's been going on lately. And I'm going to show you guys some of the baits that I've been catching them on recently right here, right now. Let's go ahead and get off into it. Number 1 on the list, if you guys have been following my channel for any amount of time, you know that I love throwing a soft plastic jerkbait, and that is going to be the first bait up on this list today. The soft plastic jerkbait, the Fluke, the Flush 5.2 from 6 cents. Just a single weightless soft plastic jerkbait is going to be a bait that I have on the deck of my boat for fall time. And let me tell you, the other day, this is what they were keyed in on. I was throwing all kinds of baits around, several of these baits that you're about to see here on the list, and I just couldn't get them to commit to any of them. But as soon as I put this thing in the water, it was lights out. They were keyed in on small bait fish, running them up to the surface, busting, but they wouldn't hit a top water. This right here is what got them to commit. And usually throwing this on the 6.9 medium moderate fast Lux series rod, but any shorter medium power rod is going to be good for throwing a soft plastic jerkbait. I like to have a rod that's not too heavy, something that's really easy to twitch and move, doesn't have a lot of weight to it, something that I can throw all day and really get that erratic action going. I like to fish these jerkbaits fast, so having a light rod is extremely important. I'm throwing that on 15-pound Sunline Assassin fluorocarbon, and that's a Shimano Corrado 70 HG MGL 7.4 to 1 gear ratio reel right there, and that's the setup for the soft plastic jerkbait. The first bait on my list for fall, hands down, man. The Fluke, the Flush, the soft plastic jerkbait, weightless, lights out. Really, I throw it year round, but right now they're keyed in on it. They're smoking it. Gotta have a weightless Fluke on deck at the ready at all times. All right. Next up is gonna be a bait that had to make the list, but it's a bait that I don't particularly fish too much. Something that I've got away from fishing in recent years, but I always have around, especially in the fall time. It's a bait that I know a lot of you guys are throwing out there right now or getting ready to throw. It's a fall time staple, another bait fish imitator, but with a little bit more flash. Some of you out there probably already know that I'm about to hold up a spinnerbait. A spinnerbait is an excellent way to get bit in the fall time. Like I said, they're corralling bait. The bait fish are bunching up and they're running from these bass as they're being chased down. And when you can get something to stand out like that and look like a small little pot of fish that's broken off from the big school, a spinnerbait is an excellent way to create that presentation. This particular spinnerbait right here is a River to Sea Ish Monroe Bling, little 3/8 ounce double willow blade, and I've got a Hog Farmer's spunk shad on the back there for a trailer. And yeah, throwing this on the 7.2 medium heavy moderate fast Lux series rod, and I've actually got it paired up with a 7.2 to 1 SLX DC, which I have to run kind of slow. I'll be honest, I prefer a 6-to-1 when it comes to throwing the spinnerbait, but the spinnerbait is an excellent bait fish imitation for fall time, something that I don't find myself throwing a whole lot, something that I threw practically every time I ever went down to the water when I was bass fishing as a kid. So now that I'm older and I have all these other techniques, I tend to prefer fishing other baits more. But like I said, I always have a spinnerbait tied on and at the ready at the fall time. It's something that you gotta have. And let's be honest, the spinnerbait bite, super fun. Chunk it out there, let it sink, slow roll it back to the boat, and wait for them to hammer it. It doesn't get much better than that. And there's no way that I was gonna make a top 5 baits for fall without including a spinnerbait. Let's keep rocking and rolling. Next up, you already know this one's gonna be on the list. One of my favorite baits to throw, especially in the fall time, is gonna be a square bill crankbait. Let's check out 2 options right here, right now. You already know what they're gonna be. That's right, finesse square bills. The Curve Finesse square bill from 6th Sense Fishing and the Crush 50X from 6th Sense Fishing. My 2 favorite square bill crankbaits. This is the Radiation Craw. This is Shad Scales. These are my 2 favorite colors to throw in these crankbaits, and fall time is an excellent time to be throwing. Oh, I just roll over some bubble wrap. Sorry about that. So all summer long, these bass have been pushed out deep, suspended, hanging out, trying to stay cool, sitting under marinas in the shade all summer, just hanging out, hiding from the sun. And then all of a sudden they come out when the water starts cooling down, they start chasing bait up shallow. So you're moving from like a deep crankbite, something where you're throwing like the Cloud9 series, all the way to the other end of the spectrum where you're throwing up dirt shallow, right off the shoreline, banging this through shallow cover, and getting them to just ambush that small bite-sized baitfish prey. Another thing that happens in the fall time, you got some red crawfish rolling around, and that is why I always have the Chester Cheeto, aka Radiation Craw Crush 50X at the ready. My favorite Crush 50 color right there. And those are the 2. I'll be hitting them with a double whammy. They've been eating both of these lately. But number 3 on my list of my 5 baits for fall time is gonna be the square bill crankbait. It's one of my favorite bites, some of the most fun that you can have out there on the water. I love throwing a square bill crankbait. And those are 2 that I always have on deck in the fall time. But let's keep it rocking and rolling. Number 4 on the list. I got you. Let's do this. Now I mentioned how bass are keyed in on smaller baitfish. That's the majority of the bass going to be running around chasing schools of smaller prey. But as the water cools, you will also have those big girls that come out looking for one big easy meal. And the swim bait bite is only going to get better as the weather cools and as the water temps drop. So that is why I am always going to have a big bait at the ready. You already know I'm throwing a trace in the fall time. Now that these fish are chasing, getting a little bit more aggressive, they're getting fired up after a long summer of not eating much, and they're ready to ambush. They're ready to run something down and murk it. So I'm going to be turning and burning with these multi-jointed swim baits all the way from now until A-rig time. The one I just showed you is one that I had custom painted for me by my friend Casey Sobsack, president of 6th Sense Fishing. But my go-to, to be honest with you guys, is going to be the good old slow sink Bone Pearl. I'll be throwing these 2 all fall, just trying to get that one monstro to come up and smash. I've done a full video here on the channel in the past about all the rods and gear that I use to throw the trace swim bait. That video is there if you guys want to go check it out and see exactly what rods and reels I use to throw swim baits like that. Want to go ahead and throw out a little honorable mention here. I am still throwing the glide baits right now, man. I'm throwing the 6th Sense Draw, I'm throwing the Chads. I'm gonna be playing around with the Legend. The glide bite is tough right now, but they're moving, they're chasing, they're getting out, they're getting active, and they're running around a little bit more, and that's why I'm always gonna have that big bait at the ready to target that big bite, hopefully draw out that one double-dig midge. That's what I'm after, my 10 plus. Current PB, 9 pounds, 8 ounces. We gotta break that DD. So I'm gonna be throwing the big baits, trying to just look for that one monstro bite. And that's why the larger profile swim bait is the next bait on my list. Not necessarily just the trace. I mean, I'm gonna be throwing all kinds of swim baits. Now we're moving into where it's gonna be full-blown swim bait bite time. So I'll be throwing the big baits. I'll be throwing the glides. I'll be throwing the trace, and I've got a couple other soft plastic swim baits that I've yet to throw ever that I'll also be trying out as soon as the colder months get here between now and really cold time when it's time to bust out the A-rig. So yeah, the swim bait bite, one of the most fun bites on the list. All these bites are fun, but man, if I had to pick one way to get bit out of everything that I'm going to show you, tough to beat a big bait, man. Tough to beat watching a fish come up and blast something like that right there. And I can't wait to get out there on a cold water swim bait bite. But let's keep it rolling with the list. I know I can be a little bit long-winded. I apologize. I get to rambling. This is bait number 5, isn't it? This is the 5th bait, the last of the Mohicans. Can you guess? Do you know what it is? If you think you know what the 5th bait on the list, if you think you know what I'm about to reach back there, pick up and hold up in front of this camera, go down below in the comments right now and leave me your best guess. Also, want to mention really quickly, if you guys are interested in picking up any of this stuff that I'm showing you from 6th Sense, I was on the website earlier and they do still have a few traces in stock. Check out 6thsensefishing.com. Use code JR10 at checkout for 10% off your entire order. That is the absolute best way that you guys can support the channel, help us keep this whole thing running. I appreciate you all for riding with me. Thank you to everybody who's been sending me those JR10 screenshots over there on Instagram. Much love. Thank you guys. Now I'm about to tell you the last bait on my list. Do you know what it is? You should already know what it is. You are about to see this bait do some work here on the channel. I've been out throwing this thing a lot lately, and it has been the food of choice for these jokers out here. This is my super confidence. No matter the time of year, this is my go-to bait. If you told me I could only have one bait, if you called me up and said, Justin, we're headed to a lake you've never been before, you can grab one rod, one reel, one bait, you have to throw it all day, get ready, let's go, we're leaving right now. What are you grabbing? You already know. Hands down, no question, I don't even have to think about it. It's gonna be a Devon swim jig. This is that Hobgoblin Smoke. This is a 3/8 ounce Lavender Goblin Devon swim jig from 6th Sense Fishing, throwing it on this 7-foot 4-inch medium heavy fast action prototype heater series rod. Stay tuned, more info on the heater series coming soon. Match that up with the Shimano Metanium 150B MGL, and this has been the absolute smoke for me here lately. I cannot wait to share some of the swim jig fishing footage that I've captured lately with you guys. I've been absolutely on them, and this right here has been the flavor of choice. Been such a good swim jig bite lately, and yeah, this is my number one right now, man. They start running up shallow, and they start chasing around that bait. I'm always throwing this jig up there right off the bank, swimming it back out into open water. Boom, lights out, super confidence. I just love throwing a swim jig, man, year round, but especially fall time right now. When they're starting to get back active chasing bait, it's tough to beat a swim jig bite for me, man, and it's been really good here lately. When I first started fishing this lake, swim jig is one of the baits that I used to learn these waters, that I used to figure out how to catch bass out here on my home lake, and it became super confidence for me. I'll throw this year round. Hands down, I'll always have a Devon swim jig tied on, but with the way the bite has been for this bait here lately, I had to include it here at the list. The top spot, if that's what you want to say. This isn't really an in-order list. This is just 5 baits. But like I said, if I could only have one, this is that one right here. The Devon swim jig smoke. It's been a summertime killer. It's a great summertime bait. Been throwing it all summer. But it seems like here in the past week, the swim jig bite has just kicked on. And I can't wait to show you guys the footage. But that is going to go ahead and round out my list of my 5 favorite baits for fall time. As mentioned, can't remember if we've done this list before. I'm sure we have. It was probably different in the past. I've learned a lot in the past couple years. And right now, these are the baits that I'm throwing. These are the ones that I'm starting out with when I head out on the water. You just saw the 5 baits that I'm going to be throwing here for the next month. So yeah, the cat's out of the bag. No secrets here. I don't hide anything from you guys. That's what I'm doing to catch them. I'm going to show you plenty coming really, really soon in the very next video. I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me here for this little bait showcase unboxing / 5 baits for fall video. I don't even know. We're just doing all kinds of videos, all kinds of content coming your way, fishing related all the time. That's how we do it over here. If you enjoyed yourself, please consider subscribing to the channel. We're getting very close to 38,000, 40,000 subscribers is in our crosshairs. Would love to have you guys riding along with what we got going on over here. As I mentioned earlier, check out 6thsensefishing.com JR10 for the win. That's going to give you 10% off everything they have to offer. Also, check out the Heater Zone, theheaterzone.com, where you can score yourself your very own piece of J Royal merchandise. It's another excellent way to support the channel if you like what we have going on over here. We also have t-shirts and sticker packs available for you all, and that JR10 code works on theheaterzone.com as well. So go score yourself some merch and help support the channel. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to hang out with me and watch this video, but that's about all I got for you. That about does it. That about wraps her on up. So I'm gonna say goodbye for now, and I'll see you on the next one.